Hey y'all, in this video we're going to be writing the equation of a linear function or writing the equation of a line. Um, the EQ is to explain the steps that are needed to write the equation of a line. So this is one of the big concepts that we'll cover in math on. Um, so it's really important that you truly understand this. And this major thing is slope-intercept form. For some reason, a lot of students come from middle school and they know y equals mx plus b, but they still don't know that m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So it's very important that you know these things. Again, m represents the slope, b represents the y-intercept. M represents the slope, B represents the y-intercept. So I've already said it 3 times, and I'll probably say it an additional 3 times before the end of this video. So again, please remember that slope is the M, y-intercept is the B. All right, so there's 2 things that you need to know when we're trying to write an equation to a line. Only 2 things. And those 2 things are, we need to be able to find the slope, which is the M, and we need to find the y-intercept, which is the b. Again, the 2 things that we need to find is the slope, which is the m, and the y-intercept, which is the b. So let's get to our first example. In this example, as you can see, they're asking us to write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that has the following points. So whenever we're told to write an equation for a line, there's 2 things that we need to find. And those 2 things are going to be the slope and the y-intercept. Remember, slope is the m, y-intercept is the b. So typically, we're always going to try and find the slope first. So if you remember, the slope formula is simply m is equal to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Which means we're going to need to label our points. So we have x1, we have y1, we have x2, and we have y2. And so I'm going to plug in the values. So y2 is -1 minus y1, which is 3, all divided by x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is 0. So -3 minus 3 is -4, and 2 minus 0 is 2. So -4 divided by 2 is -2. So we know m is -2. Remember, m represents the slope. M is the slope. So when we go to our final answer, we know it's going to be y equals, we have -2 x, and then all we need to do is find the b. Now the way we found the b, or the y-intercept, is the same way pretty much almost every single time. We have to use the base equation for slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, and we're going to plug in a point. So I'm going to choose 0, 3. Remember, this first one is our x, and the second one is our y. So I'm going to plug in 3 for y. I'm going to plug in -2 for m, which is the slope. And then for the x, we can see that I'm going to plug in 0. So again, my x and my y came from the point, and my m came from what we just solved for. And we're trying to find b, which is the y-intercept. So 0 times -2 is 0. And we know 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 3 is 3. 0 plus a half is a half. 0 plus -1 is -1. 0 plus what we're adding it to is what we're adding it to. So when we have 0 plus b, it is just b. So we know the y-intercept is 3. So our final answer is going to be y is equal to negative 2x plus 3. And again, all we need to find was the m and the b. Once we find the m and the b, we're done. So let's look at the next one. They asked to write the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that has the following point. Negative 4 comma 6 and has a slope of 4. So again, they tell us to write an equation of the line. So what two things do we need to find? The m and the b. And remember, the m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. So in this problem, we need to find the m, and when we look, they tell us what it is. So we already know m is 4, which means that quickly we're halfway done with the problem. So I can plug that in for my m. Now all I need to do now is find the y-intercept. Remember, to find the y-intercept, we're going to use the base equation, which is y is equal to mx plus b. We need an x, we need a y, and we have our m. So for y, I'm going to plug in 6. For m, I'm going to plug in 4. And my x is negative 4. So 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. I'm going to add 16 on both sides. 6 plus 16 is 20. Negative 16 plus 16 is 0. So we're left with, I'm sorry, this is 22. I apologize. 6 plus 16 is 22. Negative 16 and 16 is 0. So we're left with b. So we know the y-intercept is 22. And now we have our answer. Y equals 4x plus 22. Again, we just had to find the slope and the y-intercept. So the last example we have, again, they tell us to write an equation of the line that has a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 6. So again, what two things do we need to find? The slope and the y-intercept. The m and the b. M is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So in this problem, what is the m? They tell us. It is 2. So again, that quick, we already know it's going to be y is equal to 2x, and then all we have to do is find the b. And they also tell us the b. The y-intercept is 6. So I can put plus 6. And that is my equation. Y equals 2x plus 6. So the biggest thing that you need to understand, if you can find the m and if you can find the b, you have your equation. All you have to do is find the slope and the y-intercept and you're done. Again, I really hope this video helped. If you still have some questions, please feel free to watch this video anytime. If not, definitely ask your teacher for additional assistance. Until next time.